Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lola. Hello. So in today's video I'll be showing you how I achieved this eye looks and how I did my full face makeup. So enjoy. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw my eyebrows. If you need a detailed eyebrow tutorial, please check my previous post. I dropped a very detailed eyebrow tutorial that would help you through achieving a good eyebrow. Now I'm just highlighting my eyebrow with a concealer, which is the usual step when doing our eyebrows. So I'm just gonna highlight the lower part of my eyebrow with a light concealer, and then I'll go over the upper parts with a dark shade of concealer. So now I'm going to blend my eyelid with a concealer. I'm trying to prep my eyelid for my eyeshadow. I blended it with a concealer, and I also applied a powder to set the creamy area. I'm just going to blend it really well to make sure everything sets in place. So now I'm going to use my BeautybyAD eyeshadow palette. I'm using the shade Toby, but I don't think you guys can see the shade really well. So right now I'm blending with a powder to make sure I set the creamy area. That is a really important step, because if you don't do that, your eyeshadow is going to crease, and you don't want that to happen. So now I'm just applying this shade of eyeshadow. I'm trying to create some layers. I'm doing a cut crease here. While I was doing the makeup at this point, I had no idea what I was gonna do. Plus, the last time I did a cut crease was over 2 years ago. So I was just trying to see if I could, cut my crease perfectly as I used to. I'm just adding different shades of eyeshadow. Like, I started dark and going upward in a lighter shade. That's really important. You want to start dark and then go up with a lighter shade. Then I'm just blending the crease area, because it's really important to blend whatever you apply. You should make sure there is no harsh line on your eyelid, except for the cut crease you're trying to achieve. So I'm just going to apply more eyeshadow colors and keep blending and blending and blending till I achieve what I really want. So now I'm trying to cut my crease. I spent a long time doing this because it's been a very long time I did a cut crease, and I actually really struggled with this while doing it. But then I eventually achieved something I wanted. So yeah, I was just trying to cut the crease here. Usually when you want to cut the crease, after applying a little amount of eyeshadow on the eyelid, you just have to look up, and once you look up and you see the point where the eyeshadow touches, I mean the concealer touches, that is where you're going to stop your crease cutting. Because if you don't do this step and you just cut your crease, you might end up, that's what I'm doing right now, like I'm trying to extend the concealer to where it touches when I look up. So you have to do this step, or else you have an issue with your cut crease after applying your eyeshadow. It will just mess up. So now I'm just applying eyeshadow. I'm applying a powdery eyeshadow. This is from my Beauty by AD eyeshadow palette. So I'm just applying multiple layers of it until I get a desired smoothness I want, and then I'm going in with an orange shade. Actually, this eyeshadow I'm using, the colors are from my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. So I keep applying till I get my desired smoothness. You just have to keep applying layers by layers, layers by layers, because sometimes powdery eyeshadow can be really messy. Here I'm just trying to blend it in to make sure I get the smoothness I want. So I decided that I was going to put some pigment, so I'm just applying a pomade on it, and now I'm applying a golden pigment on my eyelid. You just have to press it in, don't drag. If you drag, you won't have a smooth result, so just press it in. And then I'm using a tiny brush to define my cut crease. This is another shade of pigment. This is my MAC pigment, yeah. And then I'm blending the outer corner to make sure everything is as neat as I want. So here I'm just trying to like define that area. Like I said, I had no idea what I really wanted to do. I eventually went in with YGlam Beauty Cosmetics pigment for the inner part of my eye. I'm just trying to blend it in and make sure everything is perfect. So now I'm doing my eyeliner with Zaron Gel Liner. I was going to skip these steps to keep the video short, but I decided to make it really fast rather than just skip the step. So I'm just doing a little wing in my inner corner to keep it sexy. So now I'm going to do the other eyes. I decided to do 2 different looks. I don't know what inspired it, but I just decided to do it. Now I'm just applying my lipstick. This is Nuban Beauty Lipstick. I'm blending out the crease area. You have to ensure there is no arch line showing to get a good result. So I'm using the shade Toby to do the eyeshadow. So it's just going to be a smoky eye, but with a different color, not a black smoky. This is like a deep pink smoky, like fuchsia pink smoky. I'm just going to blend the crease area. You have to blend the crease area really well. Make sure every arch line is blended out. You don't want any arch line showing when you're doing a smoky eye look. So I'm just blending with that shade of eyeshadow to make sure everything is in place, everything is well blended. Now I'm going in with the eyeshadow again, because when you blend, the eyeshadow tends to go shorter on your eyelid, so you have to keep raising it up until you get to your desired position. Here I'm just trying to blend out the eyeshadow so I can get that smoky look I want. You have to keep blending and blending and blending until you get that desired result. Like I said, the blending is really important. I spend a lot of time blending my eyeshadow, so you should try to do that as well. It's really important, and that's why I'm still doing right now. So now I had to fix the eyelashes off camera because I needed to keep this video really short. It was getting too long than I wanted. So now I'm just cleaning my face and prepping my face for the foundation. I used a tape to like create a boundary before I applied my eyeshadow. So now I'm just prepping my face for my foundation. I'm using the Becca Foundation, and I'm just going to apply a little amount of it on my face. So I'm going to blend with Nuban Beauty blender. I'm just going to keep tapping it in. Do not drag. You can only drag when it's your neck points. Even the neck area, you don't have to drag excessively, because when you drag, you don't get that smooth definition you want. So it's better to kind of like blend by tapping it on your skin. just like I'm doing now. So you have to blend really well. If you notice I'm avoiding my under eye area, this is because I don't want it to start creasing earlier. Now I'm just going to go in with my concealer. This is Can't Stop Won't Stop NYS concealer. I'm just going to highlight the eye point of my face. And then I'm going to go in with a dark LA Pro concealer to define my contour. I'm going to do that for my nose bridge as well. This is what I'm doing right now. So now I'm just going to blend out the concealer. You have to blend really well and make sure your blending is smooth, because this blending will determine what your face would look like. So I'm just going to define that wing liner in my inner corner of my eye. I'm going to define it with a concealer, which is what I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to clean out the outer parts of my eyes a little bit. Now I already blended it, and now I'm going to set it with a MAC found powder. I'm setting my face. I like to use a white powder because it gives me a different look. I like the look it gives me, so I prefer to use a white powder to set my under eye before going in with my setting powder. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to make sure I set my face really well. I'm just trying to make sure like there is no creasing on my face. Now I'm going to contour my face. I'm defining my contour with a dark shade of powder, and I'm going to make sure it's well blended. That's the same thing I'm doing for the other side of my face. I always extend my dark contour to the forehead region, my hairline, because this makes my forehead kind of well defined. And then I'm going to apply a bronzer slash blush. I use that shade as my bronzer slash blush. So now I'm going to define my contour with my Beauty by AD setting powder. I like to do this step because it defines my contour and makes my face look slimmer despite doing my contour. So I always like to do this step. And then I'm going to apply it on my nose bridge. So now I'm going to contour my nose. I'm doing that with a dark shade of powder. Make sure you blend really well because you don't want a straight line showing on your nose. Your nose will look too fake. So now I'm just blending my under eye with a precise brush. And that's the same thing I'm doing for the other side of my face. Next thing I'm going to do is to go over with this setting powder. I'm just going to apply a little portion of it on my face to reduce the whiteness of the powder. So now I'm just applying the same shade of my eyeshadow underneath my eyes. I like to do this step because it makes the face look really nice. And then I'm just going to blend what I just applied. I'm doing the same thing for the other side of the eye. Then I'll just blend it. Everything you do, you have to blend. Blending is key in makeup. So I'm just dusting off the setting powder I used to define my contour. Actually, I had to make this video kind of a bit fast to keep it from being too long. I didn't want to skip any step in this makeup. I could have cut out the eyebrow parts, but then I wanted to show you guys how I do it, even if not well defined or something. So I had to cover my eyeshadow when I was spraying my face because it's a powdery eyeshadow, and if you have water splashed on it, it will start creasing up. So when you want to spray your face, just make sure you cover your eyeshadow provided it's powdery. Now I'm just defining my lips by using a brow pomade. This is like my signature lip color. I do this very often. I'm just putting a concealer shade. Like I said, it's my signature lip color. So I'm just using a concealer to define my lip. And I'm going to blend really well. It's important to blend very well. So I'm just blending the lips really well. I'm blending it really well because it needs to be blended so we don't have that ash line. I even have to go in with my finger to blend it to my satisfaction. You have to blend your lips really well because we don't want any line showing. So now I'm just going to define my lip line with a concealer. I'm going to define that area by highlighting it. I just want a neat lip line. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to define the whole of my lip line. I'll go all around, highlight with a concealer. And then I'm going to blend it with a blending brush. Everything needs to be blended, so you have to blend it and make sure the concealer isn't showing anymore. After blending, I'll just apply a powder to set that area. Whenever you apply a creamy product, you have to set with a powder. Now I'm going to use my Candid glue by Yanga Beauty to define my cupid bow. The cupid bow is the V shape on our lip, on the upper lip. So now I'm going to apply the highlighter on my cheekbone. I'm just going to make sure it's well blended and there is no harsh line showing as well. You have to make sure you blend it really well. I'm just smiling to make sure it falls on my cheek, so when I smile the highlighter would also show. I'm just going to blend it really well. I'll also apply it on my forehead, my nose bridge and my jaw. So guys, this is the finished look and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I love new subscribers. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.